Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. Say, man, it was crazy ass Trump as usual. And looked like Joe was high off them pills last night on the debate. But we gonna talk about it tonight. And there's something funky going on in Harris County with that early ballot. I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell you. But let's get into it. Say, man, I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you. Because without you, we would not have a show. And you are without a doubt the best audience in the world. So, we interact with our audience. So we're going to get y'all, opinions tonight on some things. I think tonight going to be fun. I want to send a shout out to the superintendent, Mr. Jenkins over in St. Landry Parish School District. I had a meeting with him yesterday, and I will say I'm happy to report that the kids got what they needed. And that's all we need at the end of the day is good, educated people that clearly understand that a school system should be governed by the powers that be, but the parents do have a voice. So I want to say that much. What's going on, Donovan?
All right. Hey, another episode of the War Zone. And again, I want to put out a special shout out. If you want an update, please check out the Hood CNN, dropping bombs on a daily. But in the news today, as you guys know, we're going to be talking about what has happened in the debates. And as we know within the news, after the pre-debate issue has come on, Donald Trump has said a few things that maybe he needs to walk back or try to fix up. But right now, he's going to stay the course and he's going to do what he needs to do. And it's going to be interesting. But right there in Houston, the story was live all the way here in California about the botched home invasion there in Houston. That investigation has been reopened. I believe 13 officers are being investigated. And I first heard about that right here on this show with this guy. So you guys stay tuned, buckle up, brace for impact. Demetra?
So, Gary, before I go, do you want to elaborate on that at
all? I just said from day one that the raid was messed up, that it involved multiple officers. The narcotics division of the Houston Police Department is a mess, but the more that they dig, the more that they're going to find. When those ballistics report come out from the night that they raided Hardin Street, I think that it's going to be some more folk going to jail. So, God bless the Tuttles. They didn't deserve to die. And once again, Chief Acevedo, it ain't looking good for you, big homie.
So, and hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night edition of the War Zone. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day so far. I'd like to also say before we get started, if you like the information that you receive here on the War Zone, please feel free to hit the Cash App War Zone Show. That's $ War Zone Show. Show your appreciation so that we can continue bringing the most awesomest, dopest information there is. All right. And so now that I said that, you guys probably know that the first presidential debate for 2020, if you want to call it that, right, happened last night between Joe Biden and President Trump. It was moderated by that of Chris Wallace of Fox News. And I should say this, Chris Wallace is a veteran in the game. He is not new to this. We'll get into that, his performance in just a little bit. But honestly, I couldn't really tell you if we learned anything new. Well, we learned a few things. We'll talk about that too. But anything life-changing, because it was a lot of interruptions. It was a lot of just stuff just thrown everywhere. And I should also say that If you watch the same debate I did, a lot of that shenanigans came from that of Donald Trump. But anybody who is familiar with Donald Trump's debate style, I don't think you were really shocked by what he said and what he did when he debated Hillary. In 2016, we watched him do the robot behind her a few times. He's looking like Michael Myers, like he was going to stab her up or something. So we know how Trump gets down. But yeah, it was to me one of the worst debates I've ever seen. And, you know, that's my field, argumentation and debate. I actually train people on how to debate and all of that. And so when I watched it, I felt like it was a train wreck. We also saw at the beginning of the debate, Chris Wallace gave the rules. And so for every debate, there are rules that go forward that you as the candidates or the debaters, if you will, have to adhere to. And one of those rules is that they would each have 2 minutes, and then usually they have a certain time to respond or to rebuttal. We didn't see any of that take place last night. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it back to Gary and then Donovan. You guys give your initial thoughts. And then you guys in the comment section, please throw in your thoughts of what you thought of the debate and who you thought won. Let me give my opinion first. So who won the debate last night? I don't think there was any really clear winner, but if I had to say anybody won the debate, I would probably say it was Joe Biden, simply because, not because of the content, but I think more or less the style. I say the style because I don't think there's too many people that would have been able to debate Donald Trump in what he was doing, because Donald Trump wasn't debating. He was being rude, crass, brass. I mean, hell, he wasn't respecting the moderator. So there wasn't a lot that anybody can do, because if Joe Biden would have met Trump where he was, it would have been two angry old dudes screaming back and forth, cutting each other off for a whole hour and a half. And so, again, I don't think there was a clear winner, but if I had to say, I would have given it to Biden.
Well, I learned something from the debate last night. Joe Biden ain't got no punk in him on certain issues. When Trump started talking about his son, Joe raised up like he was in the hood. Like somebody done put Big 4 on top of Big 6 on the domino table, man. Joe went in, man. Joe wasn't having that last night. But, I mean, Trump was classic Trump. And if you go into something dealing with Trump, you clearly know that, one, he cannot debate you. He doesn't have the skill set. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to get you out your element. And that's what he did with Joe on a couple of times. But for me, who won the debate, I didn't see a winner there. I didn't get enough information. I didn't like some of the answers. I mean, you know, Joe just stick to the game plan and just answer the questions. Let him talk over you, but answer the questions. But as far as Trump, man, Trump was just classic Trump. He's not a politician. So I don't know why people expect at this late stage in the game that he's gonna come through and do something that politicians do. It's just not him. You know, he's playing the blueprint that he was given. So, you know, but I will say Trump tried to hit him with a jab and Joe hit him with an uppercut. He wasn't having it talking about his son, man. Donovan.
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm going to have to say in a debate, I didn't even think it was a debate at that point, because there was no way to get information, a lot of interruptions and all that other good stuff. But when it comes to a tie, a statistical tie, I'm going to give it to the person that's currently out in front in the polls. I'd have to give it to Joe Biden, just based on the fact that he's already ahead in a lot of polls. So, but as far as the debate itself, to me, that was just an utter tie. Two old white guys arguing. Now, the funny thing is, did you guys notice that when they went to the black topic, they just kind of skipped over that like it was just nothing? I mean, none of them had anything of substance to really go by. Trump did counter and say, hey, look, you had 47 years. You know, you called them super predators. I mean, he did point out a few factual information about Joe Biden. Joe Biden couldn't come back from it. I mean, there was no way he could rebut that. He was just like, no. It was a very interesting evening. And again, this goes to show you what we've been saying on this show, and a lot of platforms have been saying. They have perfected the art of having two of the basically the exact same candidates for you to vote for. And I happen to have been watching the Green Party's transmission to it, and they were saying the same thing. They were saying, if you guys are going to vote for these two clowns and think that we don't have a chance, wow. I mean, it brought out a lot of stuff. So, wow.
I will say this, and I want to, Damien, how you doing this evening? You say debate is a competition. It's not a battle of decorum. It depends on what form that you're in. But if you're talking about two people who are fighting to be the leader of the free world, as you know, president of the United States, it becomes a competition. To me, is irrelevant, because if you're competing with each other, your focus is off. You are supposed to be delivering a message to the American people and telling them why they should vote for you. And last night, I didn't, as an American, if you want to call me that, I didn't get any messages that I could say, well, you know what? That gave me something to think about. Because, I mean, like, they weren't even talking to their base, right? Their base is pretty much all in. We got a month roughly until election day. So they were really supposed to be speaking to people like me and Donovan. Gary's a big time Republican now. So he was speaking to people like me and Donovan who were, you know, nonpartisan. So they shouldn't have been in competition with each other. They should have been trying to appeal to the people who are not on board with voting yet. And I think it was a big time fail. They should have been worried about decorum, and they should have been worried about, more than anything, message. But both of them, to me, they completely missed the mark on that. Now, if we're talking about a high school debate, college, for forensic debating or something like that, yeah, you in competition to score points, but neither one of them scored points with the American people, in my opinion.
I think both of their teams need to go back. I'm gonna be a little serious for a second, but I'm gonna say something. Don't laugh. But I mean, I'm being honest. That debate last night, which across the world made us look like the suckers that they think we are. See, I'm gonna tell you something. I talked to some good black people, white people, all kind of people, and a lot of people are concerned with the way the rest of the world is perceiving the United States of America. And we kind of looked real bad last night. That's why I could give advice to both sides. And I would tell Joe, just stick to your guns. Just be the respectful politician that you say you are. People like, well, they put the ground rules down before they started. Trump don't have rules. Trump don't abide by no rules. He do what he want to do. Trump realistically thinks that he's still getting ratings. So he gonna do whatever, say whatever, and that's just the master marketer inside of him. Donovan?
Yeah, it was pretty ugly, but we always, as Americans, quote, quote, we always talk about these banana republics and these third world countries. If you guys watch that debate, did you realize we are that banana republic that we keep talking about with other people and, all these other nations? That's exactly what you saw. It was a bad situation that we are in now, and we have these two candidates. It's kind of embarrassing because it's like, out of all 320 million Americans, these are the best two we are going to put forth to represent the United States and represent the free world. Total embarrassment. That's all I can say. It was no substance. I didn't pull anything out of it. We really have to start getting back to the common good of what this country is supposed to be about. It's not a sporting event. Everybody's on this, oh, I'm a Laker fan, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, I'm a Steeler fan, whatever. You're supposed to be an American first, and what's good for the common good first before you're any of these other things. And that's where our problem lies. They want you to be to the left, or they want you to be to the right. How about let's just be for the common good, and then everything else will shake out as it goes. If a policy makes one neighborhood good, it should make all the neighborhood goods, not just one. So we need to get back to that.
So, Gary, you said that Trump was, basically trying to get ratings. And in a way, they both, I think, should have been trying to get ratings via votes. You know what I mean? Not necessarily, hey, look at me, I'm a star, as you were saying, Trump. We know he is a reality star, if you will. But I think the ultimate goal was to try to get ratings via votes, if you will. I don't think either one of them did that at all. I think it was Alonzo said they need to mute Trump's mic. I think that's something they need to put in the rules of debate for the next couple of debates and say, if you overtalk, you go over your time and you interrupt, your mic will be cut. Unfortunately, that's what they're going to have to do with Trump, because Trump, as you said, Gary, he knows no boundaries. Even, with Chris Wallace being a veteran in the game, Chris had to admonish him and say, hey, your campaign said that you would go by the rules. Are you going to go against your word, or, what your campaign said? And so he was trying to, get him back on focus. But I think at that point, it got even worse. Trump was like, I'm not going to do anything, you say. And also they got to a point when they did briefly discuss Black people. They were arguing pretty much about who was the most racist. But I will say that Trump did shut Biden down. Biden had no response at all when he says, and that was a kind of a tagline that he adopted. I don't know, from somewhere, he being Trump, that I have done more for Black people in 47 months than you've done in 47 years. And he talked about his crime bills and this, that, and the other. Another thing that I would say, Biden actually tried to use against Trump in regards to the filling the court spaces. Trump came back and said, well, you guys left over 100 courts vacant. And so who else was supposed to fill them? He says, that's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to fill the vacancies, and you guys didn't do that. And then so Biden also tried to bring up Trump's, tax thing. So maybe Trump did win. I don't know. Now that I'm going back over last night, he tried to bring up the taxes, and Trump also said, well, those are the tax breaks that the Obama administration put in. So we are all benefiting from it. Like, why are you mad at something that you guys did? And so what else?
Oh, wait. And notice when Biden did try to come back to rebuttal to the tax question, he didn't say he was going to fix the taxes when he got in. He never said he was going to go, when I get in, I'll fix that. He just totally went over that and said, we're going to do something else. Oh, he said he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts for the rich, but he didn't say he was going to fix the tax code.
Right.
Notice that.
So as far as, that is concerned, Trump did have some stingers, but I will say this in closing this, I don't think either one of them came to win. I just think they came not to lose, which I don't know what big difference that makes, but they left us even more, us people in the middle, if you will, us undecided, even more undecided. So.
Well, I would like to ask white America a question. I don't want y'all to be upset with me. See, but Black America, we got this thing about us called pride. And when one of ours get to cutting up, we kind of think that it kind of makes us all look bad. So my good white people, y'all don't think y'all looking like some damn fools right now? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing they did get right. They kept calling each other racist. You got that shit right. Because both of y'all were number some old racist white men sitting up there arguing over some Geritol. That's the way I felt about it. So, I mean, I'm going to say this here. If that's the best that we got across the board, we in trouble. Joe can go and say that I'm going to get rid of Trump's tax cuts. No, you're not. Because you have some powerful Democratic leaders that benefit off those same tax cuts. Stop the lies. No, you're not. No, you're not. And the only reason you put your taxes out because you knew you was running. Otherwise, you'd use the same tax breaks that he used to get what he got. Now, I want to say this to the Black people that's out there that, Trump only paid $750. Well, if you stop trying to use other people's kids on your taxes and stop worrying about earned income credits, them same tax laws are there for us too. I have a great tax man. Trust me. I have a great tax man. And them laws are there for any of us to use. So my thing is this here. I'm worried about the perception, because being in that position, I could never imagine what it's like to be the president of the United States. And just imagine, and I want y'all to imagine, I be thinking outside the box. The Queen of England sitting there watching this. You know what I'm saying? Putin over there sitting there, because he know he in bed with one of them. We talking a little bit too much about Joe's son making money over here. Say, man, all them people in bed together, bro. But we look bad as Americans. We look bad as Americans. And all you have to do is travel a little bit to different countries and then watch how they look at you in the airport when they figure out you're an American.
Yeah, and as we end this segment, I just want to say, everybody's saying, well, go on to the vice presidential debate. Who cares? You got Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. Who cares about that one? If Joe Biden's team was smart after this performance, I would have only allowed one debate, because we've seen everything we need to see in regards to Donald Trump and how he's going to behave. But at this point, while he was up there and Donald Trump was not adhering to the rules that were given, based on the rules that were given, would have walked off the stage and said, that's it, we're done, because he's already shown his ass. But that's just, how you do it. But for me, to see 2 more debates and 2 more train wrecks, I don't think I can do it. I think they should call him off. We've seen all we need to see. One of the softballest questions that was given last night, and a lot of people aren't talking about, and a lot of our people aren't talking about it, was the white supremacy question. Even if he wanted to lie, he should have just said, I denounce white supremacy. Didn't do it. I mean, that's going to wake a lot of people up as well that, probably are tilting left or right. So, he is.
I think that hurt him. I think that hurt him bad, because in this politically correct world that we live in, you have to answer that question the right way. I'm sorry, but you have to answer that question the right way. I just couldn't be one of his handlers, because I could be backstage and just be like, this motherfucker here. I'm serious, man. I'll be back, this mother. I'm serious, man. Dimitri.
So in regards to Donald Trump dropping the ball, I don't think he dropped the ball on denouncing white supremacy. I think that's like saying, zebra, can you drop your stripes? That's who, like, why? I just get baffled sometimes. Why are we get mad at the most obvious stuff? Oh my God, he didn't denounce, the best way to denounce white supremacy is to get rid of it altogether. Those are just words. He could have. So would y'all, not y'all, but I'm speaking out there to them people, would y'all have felt better if he would have said, yes, I denounce white supremacy, and not actually do it? It takes action to actually get rid of white supremacy.
Well, yeah, but in politics, since they lie anyway, that was the answer you're supposed to give. Yes, I denounce it.
Right, but he said stand down, and whatever he said, and so the Proud Boys are running with it. Why are we we got bigger fish to fry? And white supremacy is not new. White supremacy started when they put your black ass on those good ship Jesuses over here to come pick cotton. That's when white supremacy should have been denounced. So now y'all wait till Trump get into office and holler about white supremacy being denounced. I mean, Abraham Lincoln, the president that y'all run around lying and saying, we freed the slaves, he was a white supremacist. Like, why are we waiting to 2020 to denounce white supremacy, but nothing denounce white supremacy by black people holding their green dollars, right? And the other thing, as far as Trump's tax cuts, I think the other side of the story needs to be told. Trump can but I would imagine a big reason why he got those tax cuts is because he lost a bunch of money. Clearly, he's a horrible business guy. I mean, he's been bankrupt a billion times. He's lost so much money. So you get those kind of tax breaks when you have a write-off. Hey, you know what? I lost a lot of money. So let's tell the other side of the story. And Tanya, you say undecided, sis. He says, what the hell? Most of us are in solidarity. Solidly red states. Why would you even consider voting for hashtag crime bill Biden or Trump? I'm here in Missouri that will go 20 points for Trump. You got all these hashtags, child. So I'm not going to read all those hashtags. But what I want to say to you is I am undecided. I am decided. I have decided that I am going to hold my vote until I get something for it. Racist ass Trump, or racist ass Biden is going to give me anything. And in that debate that we saw, if you want to call it that, not one of them said anything about giving black people anything specifically for our vote. They got these plans, the platinum plan, the lift every voice. They're both bullshit. You know why? Because neither one of those plans talk about writing people, black people, reparations, or giving us full control over the money that is due our ancestors. And so I'm not undecided. Actually, I've decided I am not going to participate in the presidential election. I'd rather vote for state and local where it actually affects us, like getting people. I don't live in Kentucky, but getting people like Mitch McConnell out and all of those senators who, when Obama was late in his presidency, they said, "Oh, you can't confirm anybody, blah, blah, blah." But they did it this time with Trump. Get rid of those liars. That's what we should be focusing on. Biden or Trump, they're going to be puppets, right? We know that Congress ultimately controls everything, and then, the Supreme Court. But Congress is the one that can change the Constitution. And so that's where we should be focused.
Well, I tell you something. I put my man comment up, Warzone, and y'all please tell the audience that you guys are not Republicans. I ain't answering that question because I've already answered it. I ain't got a goddamn thing for my vote in 52 years. I ain't got no help in my community from no goddamn Democrats. I'm tired of being broke. I'm going over here and kick it with my Republican homies and get this bag, man. Y'all still waiting on that stimulus, huh? You still waiting on that stimulus, huh? Man, I ain't got time to be playing with them people. So if you don't want to kick it with me, then don't kick it with me. But I switch parties. I'm saying it. My two friends on here, they are independent. They are independent. I switch parties, me. I'm going where the money at. Y'all gonna get mad at me? Tired being broke. I think I answered that question. But Trump is who he is. He down in Texas, we got a saying, he showed his naked ass last night. So that's what he do. And cut the mic off on him if you want to. He gonna cut up worse. Trump is who he is, man. You cut that mic off on Donald Trump and the world gonna hear him. He might come down there and snatch the moderator's microphone. But last night didn't show me nothing. I mean, I didn't hear what I needed to hear. And it's not election time. I'm not in the booth. I'm not casting the vote yet. So I still got time. You feel what I'm saying? But if I had to cast a presidential vote today, if somebody put a pistol to my head, it would definitely be for the Green Party at this point.
Let me ask you a question. Who is able to change the Constitution?
The Supreme Court and the legislation.
The Supreme Court, it's Congress. Congress they're the ones that changes this Constitution. Somebody took issue with that. The Supreme Court does what? They make decisions, right? They make decisions on the Constitution that is already there. But Congress is the one that are able to amend and change the Constitution. And we know, as far as executive, he just vetoes and approves, and
the executive executes the laws.
Right. So Congress is the one that can change the Constitution. Thank you.
Let me put this comment up. I'm pretty sure, hopefully y'all can see it, because it's coming off of YouTube. Everyone wants to blame the white guy when you guys can't even stop killing one another in the streets. So why don't you start there? Okay, let me answer that for you. I want to answer that for you. I want to give you some insight. So let's go and calculate all the black on black crime for the last 40 years. Whole bunch of black people dead under the American flag. Now let's go calculate all the white on black crime that we've incurred. Do the math, motherfucker. Y'all been killing us longer than we've been killing each other. So that argument that you have carries no weight. We can blame the white guys or the black guys that's in charge when they don't do their jobs. And right now, I don't give a damn about Joe Biden as far as anything that he's talking about. When you can have a full debate and you cannot discuss Black America, we have a problem. And that's what it is. I'm done with it.
Absolutely. Again, the Democrats need that Black vote to win this election. And Joe Biden had an opportunity to put out directly to you, the listener and the voter, what is the Democratic plan? We've already seen Trump's plan that Nancy Pelosi has been sitting on for about 2.5 years. And his plan is crap too, but it's there. That's my point. It's there. The Democrats have had no answer for that, and Joe really dropped the ball on that. And it's really sad because without the Black vote, we overwhelmingly vote 80% of our voting bloc votes Democrat. So we don't even worry about the Republican points. We're talking Democratic points. So for 80% of loyalty over a 90-year period, you have nothing to give your loyal constituents, but yet illegals, dreamers, DACA, LGBTQ, Holocaust victims, money is flowing when it comes to their situation. But when it comes to our situation, we don't get a damn thing.
Well, I tell you this here, and then we can switch gears. Y'all need to check on Joe, man. Joe looked like he was on them handlebars last night. Joe looked like he was high. Might have got it from his son.
So let's see. Angry Motherfucker. That's his name. Y'all can't see him, but his name is Angry Motherfucker. Not my words for him. That's his name, his moniker. And so I wanted to go back to what he said as far as why can't Black people stop killing Black people? Why is it Angry Motherfucker? Y'all always want to worry about why Black people can't stop killing Black people, but you never worry about why white people can't stop killing Black people. Why are you just concerned with one side of it? And as Gary said, since you were so concerned about the life of Black people, and we thank you so much, why don't you actually talk about systemic and institutional racism and the reason why Black people, and a lot of it is on us, I will concede that point, but let's tell the whole story. A lot of our neighborhoods are dilapidated and completely just devoid of resources, jobs, and opportunities, a whole host of things. And so when you create, and yes, that was created by the people we vote for and the forefathers of this country, when you create an environment like that for people, they tend to do things for survival, and it might be knocking your mom upside her head if she happens to get lost in those neighborhoods for her purse. So those are the things that you, angry motherfucker, need to be worried about. And you said the Constitution was written for all Americans. You claim to be American. That's a lie. There was only three. The 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 15th Amendment were written for Black people. That's it. That dealt with slavery. One of them said that, we might be a citizen. We know that's a lie. And the right to vote or something like that.
Well, what we don't want to do, we don't want to make the show a racist show, but we got to speak the truth. And when you're worrying about Black people killing each other in the streets of Chicago and different things, can you do something about your motherfucking kids running up in them schools, shooting up everybody?
Well, he made it about every motherfucker. And it's like, I like the way that's his name. He made it about race, coming out here trying to admonish Black people for what we do. Now talk about the role that white people play in the lives of Black people, and then we can have a really honest discussion. But again,
I agree with you. I'm not talking about you. You feel what I'm saying? Because what you're saying is right on the money. So I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, we'll worry about the streets of Chicago. Can you worry about the priests raping your kids? Can you worry about your motherfucking serial killers running around here? See, y'all got a whole bunch of shit in y'all closet y'all don't want to talk about. You feel what I'm saying? You motherfucker around here trying to keep statues up. You'll let a school close, but you'll keep a statue up. You don't want to talk to me.
Angry motherfucker, if you can answer this question for us, do you think Black people should get reparations? Because because you say about the Constitution represents all Americans, and why are Black people so bad off? Why is it that the Constitution rarely rules in the favor of Black people? Can you answer that?
The lie that's being perpetuated is that the Constitution was written for all of us. You a damn lie. We were 3/5 of a man when y'all wrote that. Now, when you say dumb shit, I'm gonna give you a dumb prize. Donovan, you ready for that? I'm finna give him a dumb prize. White people were some of the dumbest mothers in the world, because the one document that you wrote that could have locked us in forever, you made a mistake. But like 94 years later, they figured it out, Donovan. They figured it out. You know why I say that? Because you were smart enough to put whites only on the toilet, but you forgot to put it on the most important document you motherfuckers ever wrote. So don't come to us like we dumb. We done came a long motherfucking way. Y'all came over here killing and stealing. You messed over them pilgrims. I still ain't got over the way y'all messed over them pilgrims. You sent Columbus on a mission, the motherfucker got lost and just showed up somewhere and started killing folk. Just started taking shit. You ease down to Mexico, well, fuck it, we're going to take this from them too. The whole time you're doing all this, you got us cooking, plowing your fucking fields and all that. And then you wasn't discriminatory in who you were going to mess over. Because then you went got the Chinamans too. You stole a few of them and put them on your railroads. So come on, man. We the smart ones, y'all the dumb ones. I wish you could go back and put whites only on that document, but you can't now. You fucked up.
Wow. It is what it is. It might be tight, but it's right. So anyway, we're gonna get off an angry motherfucker. I hope that answers your questions about the Constitution and why Black people do what we do, right? So anyway, Gary, let's go ahead and switch gears. What you got?
Let's switch gears, man. I mean, I sent y'all articles. I know you studied them. We're talking about right now about the early balloting harvesting that's going on in Harris County. Now, the thing that I'm looking at is I'm seeing people screaming, this is not true. You're a damn lie. You're a lie. It's true. I ain't going into detail, but it's true. Your favorite politicians are caught up. They're caught up. I'm sorry, but I just got to tell you. Oh, well, the Republicans doing it. They ain't focusing on them right now. They on your ass, Mr. Democrat. So my question would be, if we know this is going on, what has been the effects of running the Democratic Party in Harris County, Texas, like the goddamn mob for the last 40 years? Now, when I say that, Demetri and Donovan, this is what I mean. They get to pick and choose who sits in certain seats. So the Demetria Smiths, the Monroes, the Brad Jordans, I mean, the Maria T. Jacksons, we spend our money. We run, we campaign. And you screwing us the whole time. And now you want to act like it ain't been going on. You a damn lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And it's some prominent politicians that have been pulled into the middle of this. And I'm going to talk about one of them, Martha Kasich Tatum. City councilwoman, district, I forgot what her district is, over in that Harm Clark area. Now, when she ran for the seat, when Larry Green passed away, God bless him, there was an issue that came up about early balloting. There was an issue. And the only reason Miss Kasich Tatum, your ass ain't in jail is because the witness died. It was proven. It was proven your shit was jacked up. Now you get mad. I bet you won't sue me. Sue me. And get what's gonna happen, Demetri. You the smart one here, but remember, I major in criminal justice. So when we get to court, Miss Casey Tatum, guess what I get? Discovery. And in discovery, I get to prove some things. I get to produce some evidence. Yes, baby, you're sitting in the seat as a city council person, knowing that ballot harvesting is the reason that you're sitting in that seat. That means you've cheated that whole community out of an opportunity to have decent representation. That could have been Pat Frazier. That could have been Larry Blackman. That could have been somebody else. But see, you people so caught up on the power that come with politics, you feel me? That you're willing to sell your soul. And guess what? Clack, clack! They coming with them handcuffs with your dumb ass.
Yeah, it's funny that you keep bringing that up, because here in my city, I get constantly threatened by the city attorney for releasing documents that mysteriously show up on my doorstep, or I go and get and do this, right? Now, I believe in my city, there's a conspiracy going on between developer and city council as he buys our politicians. And we also have problems with ballot harvesting here as well. So my last meeting with our city attorney, and they were telling me the ramifications of what I was doing. I said, you know where I live, you know my address, please serve me. Matter of fact, I'm here right now. Serve me the papers right now, because just like the general just said, discovery will help prove what I want to do. And I am still waiting months later for the city to sue me as I continue to keep dropping evidence and things out there that the city doesn't want to do. And everybody's like, why don't you just sue this guy and get rid of him? And, the developer, all the people are just upset that are on the other side. The city does not want me to have access to certain files that are done in secret meetings. And I know that if I can get them to sue me, I can get those documents. So very important. Do not be afraid to be sued.
Right now, you have a lot of people. Look, let me put it to you like this, Demetri. You look like Diana Ross when she was a spring chicken. Remember when she was on Motown? I hope all you politicians out there, y'all watching, y'all listening. If we owned Motown right now, we had the Supremes, the Temptations, the Four Tops, Martha and the Vandellas, every group that Berry Gordy ever had. And all of them told us, F you, we not singing here no more. Right now, in the city of Houston and the county of Harris County, it's more than enough ballot harvesters that are singing to fill every group that Berry Gordy ever had. Y'all teams are some punks. They scared, they talking, and you're going to jail. Martha Casey Tatum, you are a crook. Now, if you want to sue me, bring it on. If not, keep ducking my phone calls. And the rest of you politicians, this the agreement. You better pick up that phone when I call. Because if you don't, I'm going to air your ass out too. Say, man, you around here stealing these elections. You stealing from our neighborhoods, man. The reason our neighborhoods don't look like a Republican neighborhood, because y'all stealing from them. You stealing from them. And more importantly, I know a lady that spent her whole retirement to run for office, and y'all screwed her. Now, I'm going to leave you with this here, Demetri and Donovan. I want you to speak on it, because I know y'all got gangster tendencies, but y'all try to be real nice. I get word today that the county commissioner, Rodney Ellis, is upset that I'm shaking things up. Well, guess what, homeboy? You better go sit your little muck ass down, because I ain't to be played with. I'm going to tell you straight up, partner. I ain't to be played with. You know they broke in Chuck Marler truck. Ex-FBI agent busted it wide open with the ballot harvesting. You broke in his truck. You steal everything out the truck except for the money and the pistol. You steal a briefcase. You steal a computer bag with just some papers in it. Then you try to send him over to an empty apartment complex for him to work surveillance at night. Oh, well, y'all think we stupid? Say, bring it over here. When you bring it like that, I'm going to bring it back to you. Demetri?
So anyway, let me just, I want to go back to a point that I saw just a second ago. Demetri, she says the Constitution doesn't work for Black people because Black people don't apply. We know that's a lie. Plessy versus Ferguson, what was it, 1896, when he tried to get rid of the doctrine that was upheld constitutionally, separate but equal. That was a time that it was applied. It didn't work. And just most recently, Byron Allen, he tried to challenge Comcast via the Civil Rights Act of 1866 that says that Black people too should have the same rights to business contracts as white people. And so that's a lie that Black people don't apply the Constitution. I think we need to stop putting out those misnomers about Black people. It's the simple fact is that the Constitution was never, ever written for the benefit of Black people. So there are some cases where we are successful, but there are more cases than we are not. So let's go back to this whole ballot harvesting thing. The people that are potentially in trouble behind getting caught, I think it's more an issue of they're mad because the discovery has actually brought attention to what they're doing, especially in our community. It's beneficial when Black people are asleep and they are not aware of what's going on. And so now there's this awareness. And I saw Aubrey R. Taylor, he wrote the article and he's, was still as of this morning going back and forth with people. But there's a lot of people on there who was basically saying he's a liar. The FBI investigator is a liar. And it's like, well, like what's in it for people to lie on people at that level? And so when we continue to say, well, that's not true, when clearly there's some evidence. I at least saw the video where the voter registration of the lady, the young girl, whoever went into the senior citizen home and filled in the ballot information for the senior citizen. And you can hear somebody else saying, hey, baby, is that legal? She says, yes, I've done it about 400 times. So that's a clear violation, right? So something's going on there. But there's value in keeping Black people asleep, which is why our neighborhoods look the way they do. When we continue to elect or fraudulently, as it sounds like in this case, elect Black officials, they are allowed to continue screwing over Black people because in a lot of cases, Black people don't want to be awakened. And so what's going on now is Black people are starting to wake up. Their eyes are starting to open to what their leadership, misleadership, if you will, is not actually doing for them. And so I would say if they are, in fact, guilty of doing those things, they should go to jail and pay with the full extent of the law, not just because white people cheat the system too all the time. So I don't really have a dog in the fight as that, but I have a dog in the fight when our leadership do it to our own people. That's what pisses me off.
Jamarcus Owens say, when will Black politicians learn they can't do what white people do and not get caught up? So here's my question. Why don't they just not do it at all? Man, let me use this. And Al, I know you're gonna say something, so because I'm gonna say something about me. I got love for Al. He's special over there. I would have been a great school board trustee. I would have been a great one because I understood what our kids needed. But I had to fight from the outside. Larry McKenzie would have been a great school board representative. Travis McGee could have been a great council member. Brad Jordan, Mr. Scarface, had a plan to get the kids off the street and send them to trade school with his own money. And people steal their elections? Say, man, they so cold with it, Demetri and Donovan. Let me tell y'all what they do. One of the things. They put the voting machines in the church. Any one of y'all mad, sue me. You put the voting machine in the church. So they go in, we go in, and we vote, right? Well, some of these machines don't get taken out of the church. So when they go and they calculate the votes, they leave 200-300 of them in there uncounted. So when you go to the runoff, Demetri against Donovan, and Demetri, they get ready to count the votes the next time in the runoff, Demetri already has 200 votes still left in the machine. You motherfuckers dirty. And y'all need to go under the penitentiary. They ought to treat y'all like some child molesters. Because y'all done fucked everybody, man. And I'm sick of them. And any one of y'all that got a problem with me, line it up. It is what it is. I make house calls, partner.
You know, the funny thing about politics, we all know that we're in a two-party system, which isn't a true democracy, but you know, that's the system that we're in, right? So it isn't beyond belief that this stuff goes on. So if I want to be a member of the Democratic Party, or let's say the Republican Party, look at the guy in Kentucky, the AG in Kentucky. This man willingly lied in public because he wants to rise in the political system. So it's not beyond pale that this stuff goes on. In my area, Maxine Waters, 30-year Democrat. Some of you guys down in Florida, Corrine Brown, 20-something year Democrat, went to jail for corruption. I mean, the system is there. So when people say, oh, that's a lie, and this doesn't happen, and that doesn't happen, why wouldn't it happen? What, just because a person has black skin or dark skin, it magically doesn't happen to them, and they're on a different type trajectory? No, it's part of the system. It is possible. What's that saying, Demetra? They always say that if a white person catches a cold, the black person's got the flu. You know what I mean? You know these bootlicks that follow right behind these people. So we have to really start looking. The Wizard of Oz, or the Wiz. I got to say the Wiz. This is mostly a black show. Let's say the Wiz. When Dorothy pulled the curtain and we saw Richard Pryor behind it, we as black people have to do the same thing when it comes to our elected officials. We have to stop saying, well, Big Mama's been there voting for 3 or 4 years, the same person, and yet our neighborhoods look like shit. We have to start questioning these people and saying, hey, where's the bacon? You know, where's the beef? You're not bringing nothing home. But no, we keep putting these people in there. The examples are there. Look at Baltimore. Look at these shithole places that Democrats control that we mostly live in, but yet we're blaming everybody else rather than blaming ourselves.
Well, Demetra, I know you pro-black, Demetra, but the thing that astounds me about this ballot harvesting in Harris County is all the people being brought up right now black. All the people being brought up are black. How we gonna blame that on the white man?
Well, we're not gonna blame that on the white man. You know, as it is said, it was Jay Electronica in a song called "All of Us." He says sometimes we crack the whip harder than the oppressor does. You know, and so I say that to say, I don't know the statistics, but a lot of times it's us doing it to our own people, right? But it's partially us as the people's fault because we won't wake up. You know, for y'all good Christians, I don't go to church, but I do know the Bible to some degree. It says my people were destroyed for their lack of knowledge and their rejection of truth. Okay. The other part of it is the rejection of truth. When you hear the truth, it's like, oh my God, it's not true. You're lying. This congressperson has been in the neighborhood for 30 years. Now, the other part of your mind should say, well, damn, the neighborhood looks like shit too. Okay. We don't have any resources, but this congressperson or whoever has been in charge for all these years and there's nothing to show for it. And so we as black people have to stop rejecting the truth. When people put forth all of the evidence and it lines up, the math is done just right, we have to say, well, wow, there's, you know, it looks legit to me. Let me go ahead and do my own research. But just to, you know, like when people say things about Biden, oh, you know, that was in the past, or it's not true. But then they immediately want to bring up Trump. Like, how can you continue bringing up? We know Trump is a douchebag, okay? He's a liar. He's all of that. But now let's talk about the black misleadership, the ones that you turn a blind eye to. Let's talk about that, because Trump has been in office less than 4 years, but your congressperson or your city council person has been in control for 20, 30 years. But yet you want to hold Trump accountable for what's going on in your own backyard? How do you sleep at night knowing that you give these people who sound like they're in trouble a pass to continue bending you over as black people? How?
What I got Bobby's comment. Got love for him. He's alumni from my high school, Yates High School. Work together with him all the time. He say whites don't do it too. This is what I'm saying, my brother. Right now, we got to worry about us. And if we getting screwed by our own people, then that's a problem. See, the only thing going on down in Third Ward, if we want to be real, is gentrification. So when I look at the gentrification aspect of it, Bobby, I look at the Office of Business Opportunity from the city of Houston that is supposed to allow minority-owned contractors to participate in that program. Why aren't there very many minority-owned contractors in the middle of this gentrification that's going on? Because they just use them to get the money. So the only thing that we get in our neighborhood is the right to get the hell out because they overcharging the poor people to even live there now. And guess who's doing it? Our favorite black politicians. They all in bed, but the way that they getting in office, I ain't got time to be checking the white folk right now. I'm checking these knuckles. And I'm sick of it, and a whole bunch of other people is sick of it. That's why they snitching on y'all ass right now. But I'm telling you, if you just think you're going to use, this is what they going to use. Oh, I didn't know it was going on. Conspiracy, they busting your ass. You're going to jail. Do you have the soap on a string? Let me give you some advice before you go in the shower. When you get locked up, I'm going to give them some advice, Donovan. If you're in the shower and you're a man and you're bathing, and the dude standing next to you and looking at you like this here while you're bathing, you're supposed to kill him. I'm just giving you some information you're going to need when you get to the penitentiary. Because you're going.
Absolutely. I'll give you a good example. I know, we are so busy going to these minimum wage jobs, trying, some of us got 2 and 3 of this, different jobs just to pay the rent and, put food on the table. But see, that's the distraction they want you to do. Within your community, you could demand certain type of jobs. And, we say it all the time. Politicians this is what they think of you by the type of jobs they bring into your community. They don't want you to get ahead. That's why you have the Five and Dime and the Walmarts and the Chicken Shack on the corner with the loan check cashing place and all that other stuff. They want to keep you in a perpetual situation of, just turmoil where you're never going to get ahead. But right here in my city, regardless of all that's going on, especially those of you guys that have children, we had a guy on the school board that was pimping and pandering students. He's in federal prison right now, but he got elected to the school board by a developer that owns the country. Now, am I mad at that guy? His name is Mike Rios. No. Well, yeah, I'm mad at him for what he did and, and how he did that. But how did this guy ever even get elected? Because we're not paying attention to what these people are doing and what their backgrounds are and how they're getting there. So I'm going to tell a lot of you guys, get involved with these people that are running and check their backgrounds out and just, do what you got to do, or you're going to be in a situation to where, look at our communities right now. I mean, what's left? A nuclear bomb? Is that what it's going to take?
Demetri, let me read this comment, then I want you to chime in, okay? Even if we do get real leadership, we ain't gonna do nothing but tear it down. First question: when the last time we had some fucking real leadership? Here's the second question: when is the last time we had real leadership? And then 2, it ain't tearing them down when you exposing they fucking corruption. It's corruption, Demetri.
As I said, brother, you read my mind. I was thinking, well, what real leadership? You know what, Rontrell, we don't even elect real leadership. We don't want that. We want the song and the dance and, all the smoke and, we want all the fluff and the bullshit. We don't want real leadership. If that was the case, Farrakhan would have 10,000 fearless. as he's been asking for. He'd have a nation bigger than they have already. If we wanted real leadership, we wasn't there, but we wouldn't have gotten rid of Marcus Garvey, who was trying to lead Black people somewhere. Malcolm X, even that of Martin Luther King, he wasn't always liked. And a lot of the people we have now, Gary, he's tried to run. Donovan's tried to run for office, and people didn't want that. They wanted the corruption, and they're getting corruption. Then they want to cry about it. And to Gary's second point, tearing them down. We don't tear down real leaders because, first of all, we never really elect real leaders. But we should stop. We should really make the difference between, is it tearing somebody down or is it holding them accountable? To me, that's the equivalent of when you hear a man say, "Oh, she just nagging all the time. She nagging all the time. She nagging." Is she nagging you or is she holding you accountable? If you ain't bringing your Black ass home at night, is she nagging you? Is she trying to hold you accountable? As Damien said, if you are not writing legislation or doing anything real in the neighborhood, am I nagging you or am I tearing you down or am I holding you accountable?
So let me say this to Black people, especially in Harris County. Now watch. Because if you're going to tell the truth, I'm going to have y'all on here singing, man. We all going to sing the same tune. Who's hurt Black people more in Harris County? Donald Trump or Sylvester Turner? I bet y'all won't tell the truth. Who's been more detrimental to Black people in Harris County? Donald Trump and his administration or our local government? Tell the truth. Tell the damn truth. Is Donald Trump the reason we have food deserts in our neighborhood? Is Donald Trump the reason they won't fix them goddamn potholes and they tearing up your fucking car? Is Donald Trump the reason that our schools are failing and nobody wants to step up? The only time the mayor stepped up about the schools is when he wanted to take them over and turn them into charters. So let's tell the truth. It is what it is.
I mean, that's like I said, Donovan and Gary have both run for office to some degree. And these are some real soldiers. These are like boots on the ground dudes right here who do the work. And they're not in office. They still do the work. They were doing the work before they got, tried to get elected, and they continue to do the work after. But no, we don't want those type of people. We want what we keep getting, and that is absolutely nothing. A lot of times, we as Black people, is just the truth. We like things that are cosmetically appealing. So we go on, we have like congeniality contests. We don't go beneath the looks and the personality. They sound cool. I like, this and that. And okay, but what do you like about their policies? Well, I don't know. I just know that they pretty cool. They always come to my church every 4 years. That turkey is nice too. Every Thanksgiving, I like that turkey. But they can't tell you anything that they do policy-wise.
Right. One of my downfalls in the election where I live is the fact that I kept being told, it's not my time yet. It's not my time yet. It's not my time yet. I'm 50 years old. When is it going to be my time? I'm 50 years old.
Your time comes when you figure out who ass to kiss, what level of corruption you want to be involved in. That's when your time will come. Because you, me, and anybody like us, they will never relinquish the right for us to be able to sit in those seats. But I be damn if God ain't good. It's going to be plenty of seats open in a minute because y'all going to jail.
Now, I want you guys to think about what I just said. It's not my time. I'm 50 years old. It's not my time. We have two people. And it's not ageism. That ain't what I'm saying. It's not ageism. But I'm saying you got a 77-year-old person, one of the oldest people ever to run for the presidency, and you got a 74-year-old person. Okay? When is it going to be our time? I have grown children. Right now, it's their time. See, so somebody's got to either pull the parachute and get off the pot, or You know, it just doesn't make sense to me how somebody who was raised in the 20th century could lead and have ideas better moving forward in the 21st century.
Well, what I want to do is I want to give some information out. I know Demetrius laughing, you know, because I try to be as serious as possible. So I'm gonna tell you what ain't gonna stop you from going to jail. Oh, I'm old and I got emphysema. They got shit in the penitentiary to deal with that. Well, I got cancer. They got a cancer unit in the penitentiary. You going? I don't care what issue you got. The COVID, they gonna chunk your ass in the cell by yourself and tell you don't catch nothing. But you going. And that includes some of you crooked pastors that's got this shit going on in y'all churches. Yeah, I done went by some of the churches. I done left my card. You punks ain't called me either. And I'm literally calling y'all punks because you know what you be doing to them kids in them churches. So I'm going to tell you this here. The reasons why you can't go, you're going. And you're going real fast. And by the way, when you go to diagnostics, and I'm going to just tell you because I want you to have all the information. And you say, well, I'm gay. They're going to tell you, pull them boxes out your ass and get over there in that line with the men. But you going to jail, partner. So if you've been around here stealing votes, lying at the old folk home, know how y'all been doing? Man, your team is singing like the 5 Heartbeats and Eddie Kane is singing the loudest.
Nights like this, I wish
that boxers would fall.
Gary, is something wrong with you? I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to show you this here because I'm going to show you this here. Shabazz on the one, you got a fake profile. That's how we know you're a troll for the city or the county or whoever. But I tell you what, Shabazz, I don't know what day the motherfucker's going, but I got 1,000 say they going. Say, man, your people is snitching on you. Don't be mad at me for reporting it. Don't be mad at Aubrey and Chuck for reporting it, Chuck investigating it. If you gonna do a crime, your fall partner supposed to keep his mouth shut. He's supposed to keep his mouth shut. And for some of them politicians, you remember in the barbershop when my man walked in to buy the barbershop from my man, and he walked by Eddie. This is how I feel about you politicians and all you people out there acting like it ain't true. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Monroe, they going to jail. Nigga. Y'all going, dog. You did that shit to yourself.
Well, you know, before I run out of here, I got to go to class because education is premium. I just want to tell you guys again. I don't think there should be any more debates. I mean, we've seen what we've seen. It's not going to get any better moving forward. And that ballot harvesting is real. It's not just a phenomenon going on in Houston. It is going on across the nation. And unfortunately, a lot of Democrats are being caught. And that's just
before you go, if you got a couple
how it's going to go. But I have other Democrats out there.
Before California, you go, a couple of seconds before you go. Let's see if it ain't right in Harris County. Okay. One, the lady that's over the elections, Diane Troutman, mysteriously resigns because y'all want to order 2 million early ballots. You create a whole new position for somebody to be over the elections that don't have no experience. Oh, by the way, tell your man he talking too much, bro. I'm just trying to give y'all information. That. And no matter what you say, now you finna say we can go to Texan games, we can go to Astro games. You finna open up these clubs to about 100%, 75%, but you steady talking that shit. You need to vote by mail. No, you need to check by mail. That's what y'all doing, man. We can go everywhere else except to the voting polls. Say, man, you motherfuckers so dumb. Y'all got all them degrees. All them degrees need to be on your motherfucking cell wall. Because y'all dumb as a bag of rocks.
Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely. But when this is all said and done, like I said, it's a phenomenon that's going on. I'm not saying Democrats, don't do it, or they're the ones getting caught. But I got a question for all you Democrats right there. I live in California. California is practically a Democratic state. Here's my question: why doesn't the state of California have universal health care? Nobody seems to know the answer to that question. But the Democrats are for the people. Okay.
The Democrats ain't for nobody but they goddamn self. And no matter how these people want to say it, you can go out there and please go vote for Joe Biden. Go vote for Joe Biden, because once you vote for Joe, I got several songs out here. I got the world famous one that went wood grain. You ain't did a goddamn thing. That went wood grain. But the other one that's about to go copper, go on and vote for Joe. Because you're going to be singing it after the election, maybe 6 months later. Joe Biden going to hit you with the dick. Joe Biden going to hit you with the dick. Joe Biden going to hit you with the dick.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation. And, the stuff that's going on in Houston, that is, to me, the farm team of what's happening across the nation. Because it seems like if you look at Houston, Baltimore, Chicago, the major cities where you have a big Black population, it kind of is the blueprint of where the corruption kind of starts within the communities of these parties.
I'm going to tell you like this here. Nobody trying to make y'all switch y'all votes. Vote for whoever you choose. But at the end of the day, we only reporting what we see. And that's what it is. And, I could really get on here and throw some names out there from that report, but I'm not going to do them like that. So I threw a name out there that I don't give a damn about, Martha Kasich Tatum, City Council, District K. You ain't supposed to be sitting in that seat because you stole that election from them other people. And you know you stole it. And if you got a problem with it, take me to court, big mama. Take me to court. I will embarrass your ass, you and your wig. Final thoughts, Mr. Donovan.
Hey, my final thoughts are, again, it doesn't really matter who you vote, just vote. But know what you're voting for. The most important vote is your local elections, your judges, your city council, your mayor. That's what affects you directly. Me personally, I'm going Green Party presidential, and I'm voting down ballot. It's as simple as that. But they want to keep telling you to vote and just keep voting. Do not fall into that lie. Our ancestors did not die for you just to vote. They died for you to get something for that vote.
Final thoughts, Ms. Demetri.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. Internet and Brother Samuel, looks like your internet is tripping too. It might be a thing. Y'all see me? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, I don't think there was a clear winner of the debate last night. I probably wouldn't be interested in watching them do that again. Yeah, they can have that. But no, in regards to the voter ballot harvesting and all of that, I mean, I think it's up to us as the people to be vigilant, and stop denying things that are right in front of you. I mean, hell, like I said, we saw that little clip. And the girl completely said that, yeah, I've done about 400 of them. So, I mean, I think at some point in time, we should want good, honest leadership that's going to actually help us. And yeah, I agree with you. Shabazz Ahmed, Gary, you had me rolling when you said whatever the city or the county you work for. I think he's definitely a troll. And he's sent here by somebody that we're talking about. But you should be very careful of who you defend, because if people are going to jail, they just might tell on your ass.
Well, see, me, I'm not going to entertain him, but I will say this here. You got a fake profile. You're hiding behind your computer. Any day you want to come out, big homie, let me know. I'm not chucking. I'm not harboring. I can make a house call if you need me to. Come there, eat up all your food, fuck your bitch, and beat you up. I don't give a damn. You ain't going to do nothing to me. I'm going to tell the truth every night I get on you, whether you like it or not. But I am frustrated and I am tired of my communities looking the way that they look. And all because people want to steal elections. Well, today, don't have a problem with me. Man, go talk to your team, man. They the ones snitching on y'all, man. I'm just telling you the truth, big homie. So, say, man, another spirited discussion from the best in the business is the War Zone. Every night at 7 o'clock, we have them shaking like booty meat or strippers on $2 Tuesday. I want to thank my man Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetra K, and Mr. I Don't Give a. You feel me? The 5-star general. If you're cheating and you're illegal, we're exposing you, big homie. And think about it. If you're mad at me, run it over here, baby. I show you better than I can tell you. A whole lot of gangsters run through these veins. Until tomorrow night, the money man gonna be in the building. Walter, get your money straight, and you ain't gonna have to worry about a ballot harvesting. Until then, we'll holler at you.